coming down the pipeline to the home market, within the next 5 years. And so it's just, I just don't think people quite understand like how impressive things are, and just like in 5 years, how much more impressive they're going to be. People just, I think, seem to keep forgetting like how crappy like smartphones started off, and then just like, oh, now it's like no one even pays attention to how many megapixels things are. They just know it's going to be ridiculous.
Those were the days. Counting your megapixels.
Yeah. That's still my favorite story, when people say, like, when there's Web 3.0 or technology doubters, I just always remind them that Kodak had the first patent for the digital camera, but they didn't even believe in their own product because it was only, like less than 4K. But they didn't understand, like, once you 4, 8, 16, like once you get to 1 megapixel, then it's 2, then it's 4, then it like, so if they would have believed in their own vision, instead of like just sitting back on their laurels while they had like 80% of the regular photo market, they would be the digital camera people today. But they're not even a factor in it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I ask what, like, I remember you mentioned that you bought into Mana at like 31 cents. What kind of enticed you to make that investment?
Well, basically, like I've just gotten really into investing in general, and got super duper lucky. Well, I guess it's not lucky. I just had a lot of faith in it. But I got into Tesla really early, so I like got in before their 10-to-1 split. And then the same thing with Nvidia. They had I think it was a 6-to-1 split, and so I kind of then just started shifting some of that. Oh, you got a 30 cents, nice. So I started shifting some of that capital from fiat money into crypto, because I'd also made some money on like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I started kind of seeing this trend of like, oh, there's all these like Ethereum, either layer 2 or like side chain projects that are, they're going to be based on like more gamifying concepts rather than just strictly like mine. So I basically, yeah, I just started looking into them around February of this year, and Mana was one of the ones that I kind of saw like, oh, that looks cool. It's like it's like the digital currency for this digital world, and then it's got 90,000 NFTs, and that each one of those is a plot of land, and then that land allows you to just run any program you want on it. So I was like, oh, that could definitely like take off. Um, I've always thought things like that. Like I've always thought we're way more ahead than we are, but obviously it's like you have to wait until the general mass catch on. And luckily, when Facebook announced Meta, that was the floodgate that all of a sudden, Decentraland, the Sandbox, Nvidia's Omniverse, all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, these are viable, because now you started having like just regular everyday people starting to ask about it. Kind of funny, like it reminds me of like back in like 95 or 96 when you had like Bill Gates go on the Letterman show, and Letterman was like, so what is this internet thing? What am I going to be able to do? And Bill Gates was like, well, you can listen, for instance, to a baseball game. And he's like, oh, well, we have the radio for that. He's like, well, but you can listen to a baseball game whenever you want. And he's like, oh, we have a tape recorder for that. And so it's just like, all right, yeah, we've always had technology for things, but like that's kind of what we've always done, is just make them better and better and better. So the whole concept that like things are gonna go backwards or just like stall out, like I just don't understand that. But
Yeah, absolutely. For anybody that's new tuning in here, again, we are Wisher Vodka. We are a vodka brand that is derived from beets and grain-free, sugar-free. And we also host events. So we had our first event last Friday. Really great turnout. We have another event coming up this Friday. So if you guys want to join the Discord, it's wishervodka.com, and just click the Discord button and follow the rules to add on. And then we got Dr. Save Your Ass over here, who is the owner of DCL Tours. He's got a lot of knowledge to give you all, so be sure to add
alpha. Yeah. This is going to become an event in itself if we keep standing here.
I was gonna say I was trying to look. I think you guys got on place.
Must be.
Well, actually, we should actually, instead of standing on the road, we should actually stand on your plot, because then it'll actually count us as people on the plot.
Instantly on the places menu.
Where do you see DCL Tours in 5 years?
Well, like I said, hopefully it's kind of a Google of the Web 3.0 world, and it's just kind of where people tell their friends, like, oh, you need something in the Web 3 metaverse world, go find a tour guide. At least
they'll know where to get it.
Yeah, because I really think Decentraland will be kind of the Google or the centralized place of the metaverse. And then you, just like, previous iterations, like, I'm a big gamer, so it's like we used to gather in like Yahoo chat rooms, and then we would decide like, hey, what like GameSpy server are we going to go play on or whatever. So I think people are going to like, especially because at the moment it's in the browser. I know there's plans for a standalone client, but like people can just have a link in their Twitter profile to their plot of land, and people can hop in here like we're doing and just have conversations and stuff. And then on that plot of land, you can have a link off to another metaverse. So just like when you get home from work, if it's an exhausting day, you're a lot more likely to just throw on like some YouTube versus like firing up and watching a full movie on Netflix. There's just going to be different meta media experiences. So this is where you kind of chill, find out what there is to do, where to go. Then you might hop over to the sandbox because somebody found a cool game over there. You might hop into Facebook Meta for a little while, but not all your friends have goggles, VR goggles, or want to wear them all the time. So then maybe you hop out into like NVIDIA's Omniverse if you're like want to work on like professional CAD stuff or like AI research and whatnot. And then these are just the players now, but I'm assuming there's going to be, just like websites, there's going to be a whole bunch of various metaverse bubbles. And so my bet is kind of with DCL Tours that Decentraland is going to be the primary jumping off point. And then so we can kind of guide people like, oh, you're looking for the metaverse that is for this very particular, type of experience. Here's a plot of land in Decentraland that links off to the, so yeah, that's kind of the whole.
So you think Decentraland will like be a layer on top of the other metaverses? Is that why you named it DCL Tours instead of like Meta Tours?
Exactly. Yeah. Just like how Google kind of became the front page of the internet in a verb. It's because it was the centralization of all of those decentralized websites. And so it's kind of ironic that it's here in Decentraland where everything's based off of decentralization. But it just seems like the most opportune technology, because a lot of the other ones are not decentralized. So you might potentially, like, if I have, for instance, you guys, like, you're selling vodka, and maybe the sandbox doesn't want the people that sell alcohol in their metaverse. So that could be a problem. But here it's like, it's pretty wide open as long as it doesn't fall into like, some of like terrorism, child porn, like the kind of like crazy stuff like that. And so people would probably, I think, be a lot more likely, just like, at one point in time, if you ran a website, like you had your own website or your own metaverse, but you had to get listed on Google to get the eyeballs, to get people to see it. So that I think Decentraland is going to, in the way that it functions and is engineered, it kind of has the best head start to be that kind of underlying platform. But, you never know. Like Facebook has a crap load of investment, and the average, technology consumer, unfortunately, is very ignorant to a lot of technologies that they use on a day-to-day basis. So that onboarding of like how to set up a wallet and make sure that that's secure and everything, like it's going to be a tough transition. And so that's why, like I said, like I feel like right now the most key aspect I can play is try to help that transition, so that then when it is established, then I can just play in that platform.
That's amazing. And just a quick nerd question for you, but I read on the forums that they're looking at building or switching over to Centralline into this IPSME like protocol to help kind of bridge other worlds into this. Do you have any information on that, or have you done any research into that yourself?
No, I haven't really had a chance to dig into that yet. But yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of research going on, because right now, like I said, basically what you would do is you would have like a little plot of land, and then you would just have like a little character or something that you clicked on that then brought up a pop-up to then hop in in a different tab to that link or whatever. So yeah, they're probably working on something where, as long as each metaverse has like an underlying protocol, that you would be able to, without like going back to the Web 1.0 world and like changing domain names and everything, that you could literally go back and forth between the metaverses within the same domain. At least that's what I assume that might mean, or what they were talking about.
Amazing.
Yeah, sick.
Do you have any views on Wilder Worlds?
No, I haven't heard of that one yet. Is that just another metaverse?
Go ahead, Boca. You have a lot more information about that than I
do. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, thanks for the tee up, but yeah, Wilder World is a new metaverse coming out, probably middle of this year. But you should look them up. They're running the whole thing on Unreal Engine 5, and it looks amazing. It's very like GTA inspired, very realistic photorealism based, and they definitely have some like good players in there. Like head of Metaware for them is like a Nike designer, and a few other big players involved. And I know they're just really catching a lot of steam right now, especially on Twitter and stuff. So at least look into them, because I definitely feel like they're kind of doing something interesting around industries within the metaverse. So like the whole vehicle industry will be something on its own. Like me and Kalo both own cars already in that space. They're NFTs, but basically you can race them for pink slips, and then if you like crash them, you can take them to somebody's like decentralized auto body shop, and they can make profit from that. Crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
They also use LiDAR to
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, they also use LiDAR to do the exact model of Miami. That's crazy.
Oh, hey Frank. I didn't see
yeah, sorry, I was tabbed over to their site. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that looks super dope. Yeah, like I said, like I think they're like, this is the gold rush. There's basically going to be a huge rush to the first platform that has 1 billion users, and all of the users that are in that space, I think, are all gonna just like Google did well. Like, even though people crap on it all the time, but like Bing and Yahoo and MSN, like they all made shitloads of money and had a lot of users. So I think it's just gonna be everybody's personal preference. But yeah, that looks sick to me, because like I said, I'm all about the Unreal Engine. I like this, and it uses Unity, which is cool. But yeah, ultimately, if you are going for that more high end market, I think Unreal Engine's kind of the industry standard.
Love that. Just to really quickly interrupt for the new people coming in, we're a Wisher Vodka, a brand that vodka is derived from beets. We're sugar-free, gluten-free, and we host events here. We had our last party here last Friday. Great turnout. We're having another party here on Friday where we're going to be live streaming artists and musicians. So if you just go to wishervodka.com, you can join the Discord to stay updated. All right, go ahead, Dr. Save Your Ass.
Sorry,
Quick on the draw,
I,
Travis. Quick on the
I was just
draw.
taking a screenshot. You guys are number 12 on the places menu right now.
Heck yeah.
How do you see that? Oh, it's in the bottom right, right?
If you hit X and then you go over to the left side, it'll say places, and then you just scroll down until you see the Wisher Vodka plot there.
Hey.
How do we add a thumbnail? Can we add a custom thumbnail like that?
You need to. I think it's within the scene itself of your plot of land. There's like I believe the last time I looked at it, there's like a JSON file or something, and there is a line in there that you can put for the places logo. The other thing too is I think at some point you have to, because I saw other places doing it, but like you have to get voted for to get on like the places of interest map. And I don't know if you have to have that to have the logo or not. I'm not 100% sure.
Kayla, look at the bottom right. There's a little magnifying glass on like a puzzle board looking thing next to the settings. You just press that and then places shows up on the top left tab. Yeah, we saw
welcome.
Kevin on Earth was pushing for that point of interest on his stream. So I hope he got it. I know we ended up voting for it. So
yeah, that was a cool 24-hour stream event.
Yeah, so do you work with them a lot, the DCL reporters, as DCL Tours? I feel like there's a lot of synergies there.
Yeah, actually, no, not yet, but yeah, we do have some plans in the work. It's funny, I actually, one of them, her name's Jessica, and she actually just got her name for DCL tour guide. And so like right when I started, like obviously I saw no one on Twitter or anything was using DCL Tours, and then obviously I saw the domain name was available, and then so I just started kind of networking and stuff, and then eventually I ran into her, and it was probably only like my second or third day on Twitter, and I reached out to her and was like, hey, it sounds like we're doing the exact same thing, like would love to work with you, and just didn't hear anything back. But then like now I've had this account, the Twitter account, for almost a month now, and I think I passed 500 followers, and so now people are starting to reach back out because it's like I get it too. It's like you need some clout before people will take you seriously, because I probably, especially then, like that in my first couple days of this, like I said, I was full on like hashtag no sleep. I was like, oh my God, we got to convince the whole world, this is the new thing. Now I'm a little bit more tempered in my approach, just realizing that people probably aren't going to be as excited about it as I am, just because they might not have the technical experience. So now I'm just looping back around and trying to, more socially gather around those people again. But yeah, I think that would be great to have, like, hey, once you're done with your tour, here's something good to watch on like events and reports of what's going on around Decentraland. And then same thing, like I think it's a nice mix with DCL dating, because it's like, hey, if someone comes in here and they want to know where to go to make have a relationship, it makes sense to point them in that direction. Oh, damn, you guys got some vibes in here.
Hey, with you exploring Decentraland this far, what do you think are some of the pros and cons, and what do you think can be fixed about this?
Definite pro is the ease of mass communication, like kind of gathering here more naturally in like circles and semicircles, one person kind of talking at a time. People can chime in with chat if they want to add something to the conversation. I think it's just a lot more natural than what happens on like Twitter and the Web 2.0 world. And then what's also surprised me, like from a gaming standpoint, which is that kind of made me realize this, even though it looks like a game, it's not necessarily a game, is just like I have not had but maybe like one instance that I can think of where somebody is just like hot micing, like yelling out racial epithets and just like being an ass. And so I think there's something, even though it's super rudimentary, like if you happen to like get kicked out of a Twitter Spaces room, for instance, there's nothing that connects that to your monkey mind that you just got shunned by the group. Walking up to a group, like, you know, if we're all sitting here talking and then some guy comes up here and just like, blah, 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 just like starts talking a bunch of nonsense, and all of our avatars like look at him and then walk away. Like, I think just again, like, that connects with the monkey mind of like, oh, I was just shunned by the group. What I did is just not it's not publicly acceptable. And so there's like this self-enforcement, and I think especially because it's tied in, like you might put work into your character and like get wearables and NFTs that you like, and now that public persona of you is tied to that. Can you come over to the radio? Oh. I just have my music turned down really low, so you guys might hear it way louder than I do.
Really, bro?
Heck yeah, that's all really solid information. Love it.
Yeah. But in terms of the negative aspects, yeah, I mean, with any new technology, there comes a lot of problems. First one I came across, at least in thinking about, was, okay, well, you know, to get these cool free wearables and stuff, or to like get an NFT, I have to give somebody my public wallet. And, you know, what's cool is you can just keep spawning new public wallets from MetaMask and stuff. But, you know, at some point in time, your main one that you have a lot of your stuff in, somebody's going to know. And what if they start just filling that with a bunch of low quality, like spam NFTs? I know in like OpenSea and stuff, you can hide them and things of that nature. But it's just, you know, in terms of how spam and stuff was used in email marketing and whatnot, I can kind of see that being a problematic thing that might happen here. But, you know, just like spam filters and all that, I'm sure there'll be some sort of cat and mouse game for having a technology to help with that.
Wow, that's amazing. For the new users coming into, we're Wisher Vodka, derived from beets. We are gluten-free and sugar-free. If you guys want to learn any more about the parties that we hold, you can join the Discord, wishervodka.com.